7:30 a.m., February 24th. Entering town of Twin Peaks, 5 miles south of the Canadian border, 12 miles west of the state line. Never seen so many trees in my life.
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Every day, once a day, give yourself a present. Don't plan it. Don't wait for it. Just let it happen. It could be a new shirt in a men's store, a catnap in your office chair, or 2 cups of good, hot, black coffee. Truer words were never spoken as Special Agent Dale Cooper is speaking with Sheriff Harry S. Truman at the Double R Diner in Season 1, Episode 7 of Twin Peaks, a television series created by David Lynch and Mark Frost. Twin Peaks originally premiered on ABC on April 8, 1990, and ran for 2 seasons. Although the series only ran for 2 seasons before being canceled, the impact it had on television and pop culture cannot be overstated, as it became a cultural phenomenon and the basis of many of today's most popular television series, including Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, and many others. Twin Peaks was initially conceived as a small-town mystery centered around the murder of high school homecoming queen Laura Palmer. Season 1 introduces FBI Special Agent Dale Cooper, played by the uber-talented Kyle MacLachlan.
Diane, 11:30 a.m., February 24th. Entering the town of Twin Peaks.
Who is sent to the fictional town of Twin Peaks near Seattle, Washington, to investigate the murder of high school student Laura Palmer. The show gained immense popularity for its unique blend of mystery, drama, quirky characters, atmospheric music, and surreal elements that kept viewers coming back for more. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the beautiful yet ominous score composed by the great Angelo Badalamenti. From the time we see the buried thrush and the Packard sawmill fade into the iconic town sign, stating a population of 52,201, we hear the epic score hook us in when the brown and green Twin Peaks title appears on screen. We know that we are headed into a world where the owls are not what they seem. By the end of Season 1, the catchphrase, "Who killed Laura Palmer?" had become iconic and had everyone talking. The series was then picked up for a second season, but the network put immense pressure on Lynch and Frost to reveal Laura's killer. The mystery of Laura Palmer's murder was resolved in the early episodes of Season 2, leading to a decline in viewership. The latter part of Season 2 explored new storylines and faced several challenges, leading to the cancellation of the series. After the mystery that drove the show was revealed, Lynch and Frost had to change gears and were not happy about having to rewrite the second half of Season 2. During the second half, there were more questions and answers, and the use of the supernatural was brought in, which confused viewers even more. But some die-hard fans said this is when the real mystery started. Although the second half of Season 2 lost much viewership and was not well received, it allowed Lynch and Frost to go all in on the supernatural nature of the series and truly made the show something different than what was already out there. Many believe that because of the insane turn Twin Peaks took, paved the way for other shows such as The X-Files, Lost, and Northern Exposure. Twin Peaks was one of the first television series that had a main storyline that continued from episode to episode, much like we have today in our streaming shows on Amazon Prime, Netflix, and HBO. Season 2 ended with a shocking cliffhanger, and all Twin Peaks fans were in open arms about not having a Season 3 to continue and finish the story. The season finale saw everyone's favorite FBI agent, Dale Cooper, come out of the Black Lodge after his win over Wyndham Earl and the Black Lodge entity known as Bob, portrayed by the late, great Frank Silva. In the finale's final scene, we we see Dale wake up in his hotel room at the Great Northern and use the restroom to brush his teeth. It is then revealed that it is not Dale Cooper who returned from the Black Lodge, but in fact, it was his doppelganger, Mr. C, who came out instead, as the real Coop is still in the Black Lodge. Now, I didn't watch Twin Peaks in 1990. I was 14 years old and was more concerned with beating Super Mario Bros. For the 50th time. I watched the series in the summer of 2014 after it was recommended to me by my brother and being hooked in other shows like Dexter and Game of Thrones. When I reached the finale, I was heartbroken that it was over and there was no real ending. What happened to the real Coop? Was Audrey dead? What exactly happened to Josie? Why were so many characters handshaking? I had a million questions. After the initial run of the series, David Lynch and Mark Frost gave us a Twin Peaks movie that was released on August 28, 1992, just over a year after the series ended. Fire Walk with Me shows us the final few days of Laura Palmer's life and gives the viewers a close look at how disturbed she really was. Laura was a very troubled girl, and the movie really shows us her inner struggles as well as how she was abused by her father, Leland Palmer. The movie also digs a little deeper into the supernatural and paranormal occurrences we see throughout the series. The gum you like is going to come back in style. It's happening again. These were just a few of the tweets sent out by the showrunners of Twin Peaks in 2014. On October 6, 2014, Showtime announced that they would be reviving the show and it would be bringing 9 new episodes of Twin Peaks to the network as a limited series. Fans rejoiced. I was absolutely ecstatic with the news. Eventually, Twin Peaks: The Return would drop in spring of 2017 and with 18 episodes instead of the previously reported 9. Most of the main characters would return, including Dale Cooper, Audrey, Benjamin Horne, Shelley Johnson, Bobby Briggs, and of course, FBI Director Gordon Cole, played by David Lynch himself. The Return continues the story of the town of Twin Peaks 25 years after the disappearance of Special Agent Dale Cooper. A lot has changed, but some things have not changed at all. James is still cool. Shelley and Norma still work at the Double R, and Lucy, Andy, and Hawk are the town's police force, along with Frank Truman, Harry's brother, the late, great Robert Forster. We find out Shelley and Bobby were married and had a daughter. Big Ed still runs his gas station, and we finally get to meet Lucy and Andy's son, played by Michael Cera. But what about Coop? Dale Cooper has been in the Black Lodge for the past 25 years. Mike, the one-armed man, explains to him that this is his chance to get out, but they have to trick his doppelganger, Mr. C, to come back in. 2 birds with 1 stone, as the giant elegantly puts it in episode 1. We learn much more about the Blue Rose case mentioned in Fire Walk with Me, and finally get to see the on-screen appearance of Diane, Cooper's secretary, played by the wonderful Lauren Dern. And boy, does she nail this role. We are introduced to Aubrey Horne's son, who is a bit of a train wreck, and find out later that she was raped by Mr. C. When The Return aired its 16th episode on August 27, 2017, we finally get the return of the Dale Cooper we knew from the early 1990s, and boy did it not disappoint. In one of my favorite lines ever in any movie or television series, well, here, just watch this for yourself.
You're a fine man, Bushnell Mullins. I will not soon forget your kindness and decency.
What about the FBI?
I am the FBI.
I have teared up twice in my life because of a TV moment. When Luke Skywalker returns to Star Wars in the 2nd season of The Mandalorian, and when Agent Cooper states, "I am the FBI." I just imagine that all the Twin Peaks watching that episode on that night were feeling exactly the same, and we were all cheering and clapping in unison. The ending of The Return may be more confusing than that of Season 2, but it is one the viewer would never forget, and to this day when I watch that final scene of our hero, Dale Cooper, and Carrie Page standing in front of the old Palmer house, I still get chills and wonder what's next. Damn you, David Lynch. The Return received widespread critical acclaim and is often referenced as one of the greatest television series ever made. Although it was shut out of winning any Primetime Emmy or Golden Globe awards, it did win 3 Saturn Awards for Best Actor for Kyle MacLachlan, Best Television Presentation, and Best Guest Star for David Lynch. In 1991, Twin Peaks did win 3 Golden Globes for Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Drama. All in all, Twin Peaks was nominated 55 times and has 13 wins in the 3-year run. This past summer, my wife, 2 pups, and I traveled to Snoqualmie, Washington, home of the Salish Hotel and Spa, but the Twin Peaks fans better known as the Great Northern. The main entrance, as seen here, was used for the first look at Audrey Horne as she enters her father's limo to go to school. The exterior of the building offers a brilliant look at the hotel and waterfalls, which is used in a lot of transition scenes, opening credits, and has become one of the most iconic shots in television history. Although the Salish was not used for any of the interior shots, this hotel was very well known, with thousands of people visiting each week to catch a glimpse at the beautiful Snoqualmie Falls. The interior for the Great Northern was shot in Paulsbo, Washington, on the property of the Kiana Lodge. The lodge also doubled for some of the interior scenes in the Packard home, the Blue Pine Lodge. In the opening scene of Twin Peaks, we see Pete Martell heading off for a quiet fishing trip. This was shot just outside the Kiana Lodge, along the shoreline, and the large tree trunk where Pete finds the body of Laura Palmer, wrapped in plastic, is still there to this day. On the road trip to Snoqualmie, we did a lot of research to find many filming locations from the series. Some were much harder to find than others. Throughout the rest of this video, I will share all the locations we had an opportunity to visit, film, and spend time enjoying the sheer experience of nostalgia. Just down the road from the Great Northern is the spot where the Twin Peaks sign had once been. The sign was only there for filming and was never a permanent road sign. One of the people in the town did tell me that the sign was left up shortly during the filming of The Return, and it caused a bit of chaos with so many people pulling off to the side of the road to take that selfie with the show landmark.
Alright guys, here we are. We are at the location where the original sign was placed, entering Twin Peaks. The sign was literally about right here. And yeah, this is the shot you see with the mountains in the background. And yeah, there it is, guys. Pretty cool.
About 2 miles away from the hotel is a railroad community park where the large tree trunk that appears in the original opening theme song is housed. The log is well protected with a fence so the wood can be preserved and to keep fanatical tourists from climbing onto it for selfies.
Alright guys, we are here at the log, the iconic sequence that we see in the original opening of Twin Peaks for the pilot. Mandy was super excited to come here, so she's like, I need to see that log and pee on it. And I said, Mandy, you can't pee on it, but we can definitely go look at it. So there it is. You can see they've added lights, they've added the gates so no one climbs on it. Yeah, but there it is, man. That's this is Twin Peaks right here.
A few hundred feet away is a gazebo that was used in a cutscene from the pilot episode, which had Cooper and Sheriff Truman having a conversation in front of it. There was also another gazebo that was shown a few different times throughout the first 2 seasons, but unfortunately it was destroyed by a fire in 2018. The gazebo was located at the Malibu Lake Mountain Club and gave us a scene in season 1 where Maddie, James, and Donna set a trap for Dr. Jacoby, and later in season 2, it can be seen as Wyndham Earl spies on Cooper and Annie as they enjoy an afternoon date. Right next door to the gazebo is the local watering hole called Smoky Joe's Tavern. This bar was used in The Return and was called Elks Point Bar Number 9. This is home to one of the strangest scenes in The Return, involving Sarah Palmer and a local truck driver. Unfortunately, the bar was closed when we visit, but several years ago we did go in for a drink and were able to see the bar.
All right, guys, we are outside Elk Number 9, the bar where Sarah Palmer goes in there and reveals her face. In real life, it is called Smoky Joe's Tavern. It's funny, when you walk in here, you see the bar, and in the actual film, in The Return, she actually walks in the other side of the bar. So, but yeah, this is what it looks like. I'll swing the camera around, get a little photos for you guys. Smoky Joe's. And right here is where we see Sarah Palmer actually walking up. All right, guys, we are walking over to where the train depot is. So this is the scene that we see early on in Twin Peaks season 1, and later on we do see this again in Fire Walk with Me. All right, so we've made it over to the train. Unfortunately, they do have this all gated out, so you can't just hop this fence. But this is the train car, and if we were able to go onto the other side, you would probably be able to see the actual entrance of the doors. But this is the area where that scene was filmed, where she was captured and, you know, Laura was killed. And this is where Dale Cooper ends up finding the first letter.
After heading out of town, we came to another important location from The Return. In part 6, we see Richard Horn driving a pickup truck at high speeds while being very upset through the small town. In one of the most shocking moments of The Return, Richard hits a little boy crossing the street with his mother after going around a semi-truck who had allowed the family to cross. This scene makes you feel downright sick and really shows the true colors of Richard as he keeps driving and blames the kid for being in his way.
So in season 3, in The Return, Richard Horn comes barreling down by this bridge and comes across the street this way, and right here is the intersection where he actually hits the little boy, because he does not stop at the stop sign. And this is where all the action takes place, is right here. So it's kind of right in this corner here.
I would have really loved to see why Richard grew up this way. Obviously, having Mr. C as a father didn't help, and his mother seems to be in a mental institution. I thought Richard Horn was one of the most intriguing characters in The Return. If you drive and head out the opposite direction from the Salish, the next stop is an old walking bridge. At first glance, it doesn't look like much. As we walked up the old rickety staircase, you can notice how the woods trail off into the distance past the bridge. The bridge is approximately 100 feet and overlooks a stream. Locals know this bridge as Ryan Bridge, but I know this bridge as Ronette's Bridge.
What's up, guys? We are here at Ronette's Bridge. So after she escapes from the train car, she walks straight down here where a traveler ends up finding her, takes her to the hospital. But yeah, this is the bridge.
In the pilot, we see Ronette Pulaski walking across the bridge after being one of the last people to see Laura Palmer alive. Heading back down the stairs and a couple 100 feet to the right, you will come to another filming location, but this is one from Fire Walk with Me. At the intersection of Sparkwood and 21, this is where we see Laura jump off of James's Harley Davidson and run into the woods. This would be the last time James would see Laura alive. Over in the town of Falls City, there are a couple very famous locations used throughout the series. The first was a very popular hangout for bikers, conversations, dance numbers, talent shows, live music, and where a giant tells Agent Cooper that someone is about to be murdered, or how the giant elegantly puts it, it's happening again. The rear exterior of the Fall City Roadhouse restaurant and inn, or to fans of the series, the Big Bang Bar, are just simply the Roadhouse, was used anytime our beloved characters needed to relax and have a drink. The Roadhouse was a pivotal location for many of the most important scenes in the series. It is where Wyndham Earle kidnaps Annie during the Miss Twin Peaks contest. We see Audrey perform her renowned dance on more than one occasion. Cooper sets up Leland so he is forced to go to the police station, and many interesting conversations between townspeople in the return. The scenes for the interior shots of the Roadhouse were filmed at the Raised Back Performance Hall at Seattle's Cornish College of Arts. While in town, we tried to schedule a time to visit, but were unable to make something fit our schedule. Behind the Roadhouse, there's a small building whose exterior was used as the hideout for the Twin Peaks secret society, the Bookhouse Boys. Members here included Sherry S. Truman, Deputy Hawk, and Big Ed Hurley, among others.
So in Twin Peaks, there was a secret society that Dale Cooper never knew about until he hooked up with Sheriff Truman. So the Bookhouse Boys, this is where they did their secret meetings. The owls were not what they seemed in this location here.
The next few filming locations were in different areas, scattered among the winding roads, Douglas firs, and redwood trees. Well outside of town, down a dead-end street, we found the house made famous by Leo and Shelley Johnson. The house was used for the exterior shots, and I could only imagine the fear Bobby and Shelley had seeing Leo's truck parked there unexpectedly. Leo Johnson was the original bad guy in the series, and I don't think anyone felt bad for him when he was put in his place by Wyndham Earle.
All right, guys, we are here at Shelley and Leo's house. There it is. It looks a little different now than it did in the show, but this is the exterior. So when we see Bobby driving down the road, we see Leo's truck right over here, and yeah, that's the exterior of their house. So take it all in.
Heading back to the lodge, we made another stop with two filming locations adjacent to one another. First stop is Big Ed Hurley's gas farm. It looks completely different without the gas pumps. I found it amazing how different it looks and how filming makes it appear much larger than it actually is. It is now a small business that sells balloons. We saw James Hurley drive up to the station countless times on that Roadhog of his.
All right, guys, so we're here at Big Ed's gas farm. So what I'm thinking is the pumps probably used to be in this area here, and this is where Big Ed comes out of. But yeah, here it is. And then right across the street is actually Ed and Nadine's house, and we're gonna go over there now and show you what that looks like.
Right across the street is the house that was used as Ed and Nadine Hurley's residence. Standing there looking at the large window, I could hear Nadine complaining about how noisy her curtain runners are. The house still has the 90s feel, and it looks like it hasn't been updated at all, which I love to see.
All right, guys, here it is. Big Ed and Nadine's house. This is where she got her superpowers. That never really made any sense in Twin Peaks. But yeah, this is it. The front door. Yeah, so off on the right, that's where she would work on her silent curtain runners. So, and then that's when the oil spilled on them and magically it worked. So there you go.
The next morning, we woke up early and headed to breakfast. As fans of the show know, there is only one place to get breakfast in Twin Peaks. I wanted a damn fine cup of coffee and a slice of homemade cherry pie. We found ourselves in North Bend, Washington, home to the Double R Diner, or Tweed's Cafe to the locals.
What's up, Hellas Horde? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are at the Double R, iconic location for the amazing series Twin Peaks. So this was seen in season 1, season 2, and in The Return. We're gonna bring the camera inside. We're gonna get some breakfast, and we're gonna give you guys some good footage. Yeah, it's here. We're here. It's amazing. All right, we'll see you soon.
This was a famous bar and restaurant owned by Norma Jennings and was a staple for the characters to come and drink coffee, eat pie, and whisper about town secrets. And the breakfast was amazing. Right across the street, we walked over to the local brewery. Now a friendly place to grab a pint, but back in 2017, it was used as a storefront for Nadine's silent current runners, where she hung one of Dr. Jacoby's gold shovels. Luckily, we didn't have too many beers, so we didn't have to shovel our way out of the shit.
Alright guys, so we're here where Nadine displays the golden shovel that Dr. Jacoby was producing, and it's right here. This is the where the silent drape runners were, and we see it open up and we see the golden shovel. So this is the location here. It's literally right across the street from the Double R. So there you go.
The hardest location to find was Jack Rabbit's palace, where Bobby remembers his father, Garland Briggs, taking him when he was a child. It is a tree stump located in the middle of the woods in Olali State Park, just outside of North Bend. There was a long dirt trail we had to follow, and since we did not have the exact coordinates on us, we were lucky enough to run into an actor who was an extra in The Return who works in the town. They knew exactly where it was and gave us very detailed instructions on how to find it. Did you know that there is a link between Jack Rabbit's palace and Carrie Page? In The Return, Cooper finds Carrie Page at her home in Odessa, Texas. In Odessa, Texas, there is an 8-foot Jack Rabbit statue named Mr. Rabbit. But what does it all mean? Well, take what Agent Cooper says and see if that helps you make any connection. When two separate events occur simultaneously pertaining to the same object of inquiry, we must always pay strict attention. Again, is this Lynch just messing with us?
So this is from The Return, and this is episode, I believe it was episode 17. So this is where Coop and Laura Palmer, when they were older, and he sees her as a younger version in the forest, he's trying to like pull her, and this is kind of like where the dimension thing occurs. And yeah, this is the pathway that David Lynch used, and happened right about right here. What's up, guys? So we are here, Jack Rabbit's Palace, straight out of Twin Peaks season 3, The Return. There is what it looks like. So this is where they were standing, and then Andy ends up getting transported over to the White Lodge. This is also where the female comes down blind that they find, and she's right around this area here, and she ends up being the real Diane. So yeah, there you go. There's Jack Rabbit's Palace, and yeah, pretty cool, man. It was hard. It was a hard one to find, but we got it.
The Twin Peaks Sheriff Station is one of the most used filming locations in all 3 seasons. In 2010, it was turned into a driving school called Dirtfish. At the time of our visit, they had a massive Summerfest event where you could hop in a race car and be driven throughout the dirt track, take part in tasting local brews, or just check out the car show. A few days later, we came back after setting up a time to film the old sheriff station, as well as the ruins of Weyerhaeuser Mill. This old sawmill, which still has its smokestacks, is on the same property and was used in the opening intro to the show and for the Packard sawmill, which was run by Josie Packard. Although the sheriff station definitely looked much different than what I remembered from the show, as some of the walls had been removed, it was a really special experience walking down the hallway where Cooper, Truman, Hawk, and Andy would head into the conference room to pick out that perfect glazed donut. And what exactly about the box of chocolate bunnies?
All right, guys, we are here. This is the Twin Peaks Sheriff police truck. Harry S. Truman drove this truck. Unbelievable. Take a look at this guy. So this thing's been sitting here since 1989. And yeah, so there it is. We'll take some shots for you guys. Hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, so as we end the hallway here, make a right, and this is the conference room. So right here, where the TV is, this would be where the chalkboard was with a map of Ghostwood Forest and the Owl Cave and everything like that. Here is the area where the table would be that Andy would bring the donuts,
and this is where all the meetings would happen. Over here is where the bird, the parrot, would be, and he would be shot through this window here. But yeah, here is the conference room.
Sheriff, I'm going to transfer it to the phone on the table by the red chair. The red chair against the wall. The little table with lamp on it. The lamp we moved from the corner. The black phone, not the brown phone.
Thanks, Lucy, I got it.
This is the smokestack you see in the opening credits, and this is what they use for the shot for the Packard sawmill. If we swing the camera over to the right, this building was also used for some of the shots in the pilot. And the funny thing is that this is actually all located right across from the police station. It's kind of funny how, you know, they use 3 different locations on this one piece of property. But there you go. The final 2 filming locations we set off for were in Everett, Washington, about a 50-minute drive from the lodge. First up is Donna Hayward's house. Situated on a narrow street, this is the house where we learn who Donna's true biological father is. James sings his infamous song, Just You, to Donna and Maddie, and of course, who could forget the image of Bob crawling over the couch. A few streets away, we come to one of the most iconic houses in television history. First used in Fire Walk With Me, and then again in The Return, we finally pulled up to the Palmer House. A different house was used in the filmings of season 1 and 2 over in Monroe, Washington. The first thing I can think of as we get out of the car and walk across the street is the unforgettable ending of The Return. Over to the right, the bushes that Laura hides under when she sees her father leave the house in Fire Walk With Me was just begging me to come over and lay there. As we walked up the stairs to the front door, I couldn't believe I was actually there. It was incredible. All I can imagine is Cooper walking up the stairs to knock on the door in hopes to find something that would allow him to connect all the clues. I still wonder who Alice Tremont was speaking with behind that door. I still wonder what exactly happened at the end of the series. Were we ever supposed to truly know? I always felt that it ended with 2 souls, each with a specific purpose, who were brought together, and in the end they were unable to solve or rid the town of Twin Peaks from the evil of a supernatural entity. After many rewatches of the series, I feel Cooper was always meant to fail, mostly due to his loyalty as a friend, hunger for answers, and deep down he felt he could save Laura from dying, even though the reason for his arrival in Twin Peaks was because of her death. I think the title of the 3rd season, The Return, symbolizes that Cooper wants to find a way to return to the past to save Laura from her death. Laura's scream at the end of the final episode demonstrates not only that she cannot be saved, but I think it also has something to do with her being abused by Bob for so long, and over time it changed her as a person and eventually led her down the road to her murder. The series was definitely a fun and confusing wave of emotions, and I welcome it each summer when I rewatch the series looking for more and more clues to put it all together. I don't know if we as fans will ever get all the answers we have from the series, but I welcome your comments, theories, and questions in the comments section below. Alice Tremont was played by the real-life owner of the house, Mary Reber. It was a real pleasure to spend 90 minutes with her as we spoke all things Twin Peaks, including her experiences on set, the history of the house, and she also graciously gave us a full guided tour of the entire Palmer house. The final portion of this video essay and the interactions with her as we toured the house, including video of each room and other artifacts from the show she was allowed to keep. I want to give a few shout outs before we get to the tour. First, I want to say Thank you very much to Mary Reber for allowing us in her home. We had so much fun and are very appreciative of your time and knowledge. Next, I want to thank Josie Rimmer at Dirtfish Driving School for allowing me to make an appointment and film the interior and exterior of what was once used as the Twin Peaks Sheriff Station. I also want to thank the incredible staff at Dirtfish for their generous hospitality. Thank you for watching. Smash that like, subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to keep those heads on and enjoy the tour.
What year is it? Alright guys, this is where Laura laid down to hide from Leland as he was coming up toward the house. So there's the house right there. And this is where she laid down. So yeah, there you go. All right, guys, we are here. This is the final stop of this tour we've done of all the Twin Peaks filming locations, and we are here at Laura Palmer's house. We're gonna go inside. The host here, Mrs. Mary Reber, has been generous enough for us to come in and kind of look around. We're gonna be in there for about an hour, so we'll be doing some footage inside. Super excited to be here. This was about an hour drive from where we were staying. But yeah, let's go inside and let's take a look at it. I know.
Frank and Donna comes walking in, so this is that room. This is also the room that Sarah did all of her scene. So my TV set was put right here. Sarah came walking in after moaning, grabbed Laura's picture, which was my picture, put it on the floor and started stabbing it.
Huh, that's awesome.
So what they had to do in here, clear out the room, put cardboard down, put gold carpet, stain it. These are set curtains. Nicotine stains.
Oh, wow.
Nicotine stains, those as well, and these ones. So I kept those. Paint the walls pink, stain the crown molding, stain the radiators, the whole room was stained. So David was here 3 times before, so it was like a couple months before he filmed, he asked if we could put our TV set in front of the fireplace, which gives you an idea of where Sarah's at and what she was watching, which was pretty funky.
That crazy animal eating.
Gosh.
It was creepy.
So I've got mirrors here that are similar, but they're the opposite. Because I think the ones they had were hourglass in the middle and the 2 rounds on the side.
That's right.
Be indicative of an owl. A picture, actually, let me grab
I still have the picture.
where you're standing right now. Deputy Andy would be right in the doorway there. There was a couch here. So you've got Sarah here in the pilot, and then Sheriff Truman would be sitting on the couch. And then obviously you've got Sarah. We'll go into the kitchen in a little bit. My island is still the same island that she was at, and then you've got your, but we'll see those.
The stairway, yeah.
That's your view. That was 92, so that was Fire Walk with Me. It was funny when David came walking in, one of the first things he said when he came walking through the door wasn't there a big green tree in the corner? So he remembered that from like 25 years before. Gold carpet. So this is what the room looked like. See the mirrors?
Yeah.
And that's more of the outside of the house looked like. The lady that lived here only let one person in, and he took this picture. So I've been hosting people from that have seen it in 89 and 90 and haven't been able to come in here. So why am I doing this? So anyway, you're letting complete strangers in your home, closing both doors, taking them upstairs. I mean, think about it.
Yeah, I hear ya.
Think about it. So
We're from Ohio, we're good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we're
everybody
kind.
goes, this is so nice of you to do this, and I go, it really is. It really is. But you know what? I think the gift for me is the notes I get afterwards and watching people while they're here. It means a lot to them.
Yeah.
And
This is incredible.
great experience.
Yeah.
But I've got a record player like Leland's too.
And do you dance like Leland?
I'd love it if he came out here and, never know.
Ray Wise is actually, where is he at? What I told you I wanted to go.
I actually he FaceTimed me not too long ago.
Yeah?
So we chatted a little bit, and I panned around the room, and he goes, "Oh, my house." I'm like, "Do you pay the mortgage?" My house. So I panned around the room, and then when I got to that picture to the left of the fireplace, he goes, "Oh, that's where I killed Maddie." You know, just nonchalant.
Oh yeah, like where's the room that he looks at himself in the mirror?
That would be, okay, so Maddie would be coming out through here. He would be looking in a mirror in the entryway there, but there isn't a wall big enough so you know that was filmed in Hollywood.
Oh.
They just took it and changed it around. This, though, is the picture that they gave me because they used my picture. When Sarah was stabbing Laura's picture, that was mine, so they replaced it with this, and I had Cheryl sign that. So here's your...
Oh, so all of the hallways. Oh, so it's this way. So okay, but it comes up both sides. But this is your iconic shot right here. Yeah.
The iconic shot is probably 3 or 4 steps up because you don't see the landing in that shot. But you got to remember, have you seen Missing Pieces?
Yeah.
Laura would have to be standing somewhere, so she's standing on the landing for Missing Pieces. If you want to, you can
so
after we're done here or whatever, you can wait or whatever, but she's standing up there, and that's when she's looking up at the fan and her face is contorting.
Yeah.
Her mom is standing right where you are, and she goes, "Laura, have you seen my blue sweater?" And Laura goes, "Mom, you're wearing it." And they go off into the... So here, I'll take you up to Laura's room if you want to see. Just be really super careful on these stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, because they do make it look like when you walk in, you see the stairs that it's coming from the entranceway.
That's where I looked the very first time, and
because I looked up there, I'm like, wait a minute.
I gotta show you too. I keep the cobwebs
Oh.
on the fan. I just think it looks creepier that way. Gives me an excuse not to have to die. So this would be Laura's room in the pilot.
All right. Oh my God, that is creepy. Dude, how do you not... Oh my God.
You know what? I've made peace with him, and I just figure if someone's going to come in and steal anything from my house, they open up that door, it's at their own risk.
That is so creepy. Bob's always watching. Always watching. That is great.
His face is pretty creepy.
Dude, I always thought it was something I thought it was real for a second.
See, and then the weird thing is I'll leave this door open, because when you guys leave, I'll probably leave the door open, I'll forget. I've come up here at night when it just starts getting dark, and I just see this big figure in the... So where you're standing right there is where Laura's bed was.
Oh, so the bed was here, okay.
Dresser wasn't there. Bed came out, dresser was here.
Okay.
That picture, remember that picture was right above.
Yep. Oh yeah. So the bed would have became here.
No,
So
her bed came out that way.
Because this picture would have been on what wall? It would have been over here above the dresser.
Her rocking chair, wicker rocking chair. She actually did go out this window, down a trellis, hid behind a bush. In Missing Pieces, her dad pulls up in a car.
And she's hiding.
But the one where she runs across the front lawn is when she comes up in Fire Walk with Me, and she's like this, where she's at the door, and she opens up the door and kind of gazes over there, and you can see Bob staring at her. She runs down the stairs, runs down the front lawn, hides behind a bush, which is still there. It's on the other side of their house.
Okay.
So I've got all these people that lay underneath that bush, recreate the scene. There's constant cosplay.
That's what you're gonna do. You didn't even know about that.
Oh, you know what? Everybody does it. Everybody does it. And I was gonna say, during filming, there was about 100-some people out there. And then Kyle went out there and was giving away Starbucks cards and talking to people. So it was a pretty busy neighborhood when they were filming. So this is the wash your hands bathroom. So this is when he's in the living room and he goes, "Lori, your fingernails are dirty, wash your hands."
Oh yeah.
So, and then this would be the kitchen, original island. And
So the countertop is new and different.
countertop, okay, so the whole kitchen is the same. Crown molding, glass in the cabinets. This is the type of phone she was on.
Mm-hmm.
So trust me, there's been cosplay behind here. And just to add to your video, I wrote this in too. Because that was in the pilot.
Yep.
Actually, let me grab that picture again and see.
Crunchies.
Okay, so here there's the Crunchies box. Same kitchen. There's the phone. So it's just dated. It's the same thing, same island. This would be
different.
This would be early 1900s, so the Salish wasn't there, and you're seeing the falls from this way. So this is before all the dam and the hydroelectric power, so you can see the
Well, that's what it's funny
how
how
things have changed.
I mean, the falls. It's like one huge one almost. Yeah.
Now it's like you got the two
Yeah.
two streams.
Yeah.
Alexa, play "Falling" by Julie Cruz.
Oh, okay. We just listened on the way down here.
Yeah, her album is getting, I don't know, they're doing something to it and they're making it look purple, which is kind of cool. So this is the Palmer dining room. This is a poster for Part 18. We had a gal from Ireland, commissioned her to do the stairs, and she also did the house over here. So this is all Twin Peaks like art and stuff like that from fans, though I've given quite a bit away. This is some of the artwork. And this was my ticket to the premiere. Got to go to the premiere.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
The red carpet and all that kind of cool stuff. Telpa Diane. This is Sarah Palmer's TV. And that's my neighborhood. So you're in Rucker Hill right now. That would be the Rucker Hill mansion at the top of the hill. The Palmer house would be in front of this house down one street, but it wasn't even built yet.
Oh, okay.
So this was built in 25. It's almost 100 years old. This was probably early 1900s or early 1920s.
Okay.
You can tell by the old car and the...
Yeah.
You guys are too young. This is the way that they used to do pictures, is they would take a series of pictures
And put them together, yeah. Yeah.
I'm not quite that age, but... So these are the Funko. So you've got the giant. Somebody just made me these. So somebody made a doll of me. This is a little Lego of us at the door.
Oh, that's cute.
That's great.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, I'm a big Lego guy.
And then all the Funko Pops. This is a cool one.
Yeah, that's the one I have. I have her sign, and then inside it has Fire Walk with Me.
And this
And then
Deputy Hawk did this. Not personally for me, it's a print. But I think that's pretty cool too. So Michael Horse.
So were you able to meet all those guys?
Michael Horse was here, Cheryl was here, Kyle was here, Grace was here. Our trailers, we had all of our trailers in front of the hospital, a couple blocks down. I met a lot of people at the wrap party and at the premiere.
Okay.
Everybody, but you got to remember, nobody knew who anybody was. We watched it along with everybody else. Nobody knew when their scenes were. So we all sat there. The only one who knew was Kyle because he had to read the whole script. But everybody else had to sit and watch. So I'm watching 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way through with everybody else. And then I'm thinking, after 17, it's got to be an 18, and then there's four minutes left, which is pretty.
So you guys watched all 18 episodes as a premiere?
Oh no! At the premiere was only 1 and 2.
Oh, okay.
But it ended.
I was gonna say, my gosh.
No,
That's a long time.
No, David wouldn't even do that. I think
Yeah.
he wanted that to be a surprise for everybody. But at the end of 2, it was kind of a cool little thing because it was my house on the screen.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun.
Yeah. It was funny. So you were watching the whole time, like, when am I gonna be in this? And just like very,
We all
very.
did that. And
Yeah.
you know, I mean, if you're on the cutting room floor, you would have known that. But,
Yeah.
yeah, and that was nerve-wracking. So here I'm sitting in my house as they're coming up my stairs watching it. So that was surreal.
Yeah.
On Sarah's TV set. And the way David says to watch is dark room, pull the blinds down,
Yep.
curtains, and then wear headphones. Because the giant says at the beginning, listen to the sound. So you miss a lot of sound if you don't have
Oh, really?
headphones. And I don't know if you noticed at the end, but the Lynch Frost Productions sign that comes on was silent. Usually that has the electricity sound at the end.
Yeah.
It was totally silent.
For the premiere?
No, for after 18. After
After
it flew
18.
out
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
And then the Showtime insignia came around too, and that was silent as well.
So what do you think really happened at the end of the series?
Oh geez. You know what?
Like, you ever ask him, David Lynch? Like, what was that? Did we just watch?
You know what I appreciate about him is it's your gift. You and I could be looking at this, all three of us could be looking at a picture. We're all going to get something different from it. So based off of your own personal experiences is how you're going to take away the ending.
Yeah.
If you've had trauma in your life, you're going to look at the whole of Twin Peaks in a whole different light than if you didn't. If you haven't had trauma, it gives you an idea of what it's like. What I like about David, it's his vision and him and Mark Frost. And basically, he's taking his vision, giving it to you, and sharing it with you, but you're coming up with something different.
Yeah.
I've heard numerous theories.
Yeah.
And you know what? They all make sense.
I know there's so many.
I don't think, well, there isn't a right or wrong answer, you know?
Like when you said, when he goes, that's actually what we were recording down there earlier. I turned and said, "What year is this?" And then I'll splice in Cheryl in that. But I mean, what do you think that means? What year
is this?
Yeah.
To me, and this has nothing to do with David Lynch either, because that was one thing I couldn't talk about when it was over, is because then everybody thinks it's David's theory. I just think it's a loop, just like Sarah was watching something
Looping, yeah.
It's a kind of a never-ending thing, and where in the loop are they?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, when Coop crosses over, everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a different dimension, so it's like more of an alternate reality.
That's what I was thinking, like an alternate universe type thing.
Exactly. So this is the alternate universe of, because this, obviously Sarah's not here, but it is a Tremont. So that's strange because Tremonts take over homes.
Right.
And Tremonts don't let people over the thresholds of the places they're at. So I always thought the Tremonts were a lodge entity. I don't know the whole thing about how I would fit in with Judy and all that. That's just kind of everybody's theory. But it's like, if you started it over again, where in the loop are you starting?
Yeah. Yeah, I always got confused with, like, I always knew something was going on with Sarah. But, like, at the scene at the bar, with that whole part, I'm like...
She warned that guy, though, too.
Yeah, I know.
She kept warning him. It's like any female sitting next to a guy at the bar, and he's bugging her.
Yeah.
It's like, just... You keep in your space, and I'll stay in mine, and then this is just what happens when you don't.
Yeah.
So
in was it episode 8, in the crazy episode 8, the bug? Are we thinking the bug is in Sarah? Is it?
That's what it would appear to be.
That's what it appeared to be,
That's
right?
what
Okay.
It would appear to be good. Pretty big bug.
I know.
I mean, I'd be choking on that thing. So.
Yeah, that's kind of how we got out of it, and I don't know. It's just like, I'm like, okay, so that puts some type of evil in her or whatever, but like, she doesn't really ever seem evil in the original series. That's why it's kind of like,
No.
like she was more of
No, but she was a passive person to me that knew what was going on, but typical of people when they don't want to get involved in a situation or they want to pretend it's not happening.
that she. So you think she knew what Leland was doing? It's hard. I know.
I know, but how can you not? I mean, I came from a domestically violent situation, so it's not totally unknown to you that there's something funky going on. Just your insights, your gut's telling you something.
Yeah.
Laura did not act like everything was kosher.
Yeah.
She knew. You know, even when Leland went up to her, when she's sitting there and the way he's investigating her fingernails, and he goes up and he grabs her cheek and starts like that.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's not normal. And then Sarah's going, Leland, stop. She doesn't like it when you do that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's abusive.
Yeah.
Because she was obviously terrorized with her mouth hanging open.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think she was appreciating what was going on, but I think she knew what was going on. It's like at the funeral. Bobby all of a sudden said, we all did this to her. The men took advantage of her, Doc Hayward, I mean, they all could feel that something was wrong when she was at their house and she was crying.
Yeah.
But it's that thing where I don't want to get involved, or I don't want them thinking I'm getting into their personal space. You know, it's now people are a little more vocal, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I was just going to show you this. This is a magazine out of the UK. So I don't know if you saw this when I posted this. So it's all the different shows. So this is from the 1970s, and this is in Manchester, UK. So it's like all the different top 100 shows of all time. This is their take, and they've got, look at that lady down there. So this is a Twin Peaks, and they put it at number 2.
Number 2.
Me and Manny have been sitting here for a while, next to the pit of fire. As we look into the trees, we realize the owls are not what they seem.